Happy Monday. Told y'all a million times y'all should be as happy on Monday as you are on Friday if you have air in your lungs. Welcome to today's episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm your favorite, or maybe not so favorite, devil's advocate Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. Okay. Also On the Block with Jen at Gmail. That's the suggestion box. If you want to contact me, one of my panelists, or something about me or one of my panelists, an old show or a new show, or you want to collab, right, on a serious show, interview, partake in an interview, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. You can also throw topics in there that we may miss because we don't catch everything. We have lives outside of YouTube. So feel free to throw topics in there for us. If I think they're cool, I'll discuss it with my panel and we'll see if we could bring it to you guys and dissect it the way we do. Okay. Everyone is welcome. I always have an open panel, but I do ask that you show your face. We do not argue with avatars here. Sorry, this ain't the channel. If you're going to pull up to the block, you got to pull up to the block and you got to say it with your chest. Okay. And faces are good for conversation. Okay. Faces make conversations a lot more interesting. Yeah. Tonight's topic is spicy. On the block, we don't shy away from any subject, whether it's race, sex, relationships, gender, whatever it is. We don't shy away from that here. A lot of people tiptoe around these subjects. We tackle them head on. And you can either stay and partake or get mad and leave. The choice is yours. I just want to say really quickly, if you don't like me or one of my panelists or how we handle things, what we talk about, please get the fuck on. Like, don't do it to yourself. I want to free you as a friend, right? I want to free you. I say over and over again, there are 50 million channels on YouTube. If you don't like it here, go find another one. You really do have lots and lots of choices. But what you will not do is what a lot of people try to do and tell me what subjects I should cover, what topics I should dissect, what my opinion should be. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, like ever. You can keep trying, but you'll keep getting blocked, right? And I, believe it or not, don't like blocking people. I don't like blocking people. Okay. I like to hear all opinions, good, bad, or indifferent. I just ask you not to be a nuisance. Okay. Why am I bringing this up again? Most recently, Crazy Legs just did an interview on Drink Champs. It was an amazing interview. Okay. Everybody loved it. He's giving his experience of being a hip hop icon and pioneer and contributor to hip hop. That is what Crazy Legs is, okay? I went to the Drink Champs YouTube channel, threw up a couple Puerto Rican flags, said Crazy Legs, we're proud of you, love you, great interview. A bunch of you who I've blocked in the past because you can't talk to me in my comments thought that you were going to talk to me there, and I dragged you there as well. You have to understand, I don't code switch. I'm the same way everywhere, in person, online, on the phone, on YouTube. If you meet me in person, I'm like this, probably louder and more animated. Okay? So I don't know what your fixation is with who did what in hip hop, but hip hop is white owned. Okay? So you guys can scream and cry and stomp online about who invented what and who did this scratch on a record. Was he Black or Puerto Rican? Or who did that head spin? Were they Black or Puerto Rican? You guys can kill each other on these machines. But being from New York City, and this is why we talk about outsiders so much, because in New York City, it was Black and Latin like this. There is no YouTube charlatan. There's no con man online trying to be divisive so he can sell you t-shirts, going to change the fiber of New York City hip hop. It is Black and Puerto Rican, period. Predominantly Black, but it is Black and Puerto Rican, period. You're never going to change that. I don't care who you follow. I don't care how many times you stomp in my comments. You're never going to change that. And I know it's frustrating. And I know it probably hurts because you probably feel like, oh my God, we don't have anything. You still don't have anything after this debate. You still don't. Whether you like Crazy Legs or not, whether you follow and agree with these charlatans who are being divisive amongst all the Caribbean Americans, right? And you know the people I'm talking about. Right? There's FBA against Jamaicans and Haitians and Africans. You know the clowns I'm talking about. So it's never gonna happen. You will never separate us. New York is a country within its own. You will never separate us. Not happening. But you can try. You can keep trying because I know a lot of people are bored and there's nothing else to do online but argue most of the times with you people that, you know what I mean, use social media as a supplement for life and boredom. I get it. But it's not happening. You're only going to get blocked here. And I don't want you to get blocked. I don't want you to get blocked. Don't want you to get blocked. You're good for the algo, right? But whatever your fixation is with hip hop, you will never own a piece of hip hop. Never, never. There's a lot of claiming that goes on YouTube, no ownership. Listen to what I just said. There's a lot of claiming that goes on YouTube with no ownership. So you can stay here all day and night and claim what's yours. You can claim. I can claim all day. I can claim that I can, you know what I mean, run outside, and if I run fast enough, I'll land on the moon. I can claim that all day. Is it going to happen? So you guys can argue and bicker because you have nothing else going on about who contributed to hip hop and who started hip hop and who did this, and no, this piece is ours and that piece is yours and you weren't here. And you're at the end of the argument, you still don't own hip hop. Not even a smidgen. You don't own any stock in the record labels. You don't own any stock in the sneakers we wear. You don't own any stock in Timberlands. You don't own any stock in the Yankee cap. You own nothing. Most of the rappers don't own their own fucking masters. You own nothing. So you can claim all day and night. Claim, claim, claim. I'm claiming this and I'm claiming that. And this is mine and this is that. And they were here. And at the end of the argument, you still own zero. Nothing. Less than nothing. The only thing you did is help YouTube stay $1 billion business. That's all you did. But I know it gave you some sort of gratification to think you said something or you did something. I'ma tell her this because she giving props to Crazy Legs. And you still owned nothing. You still have a pile of laundry. You still have no generational wealth in your family. Okay. You're still neglecting your mother because you're spending time sending me comments. Okay. You're still single and miserable. All right. You still don't have a gym membership. I can go on and on and on. And you know I can because you guys know the lives that you live. And every couple months, I feel like I have to remind y'all. You can claim whatever the fuck you want, but you own nothing. Less than nothing. So if a hip hop god fell out the sky right now and said, I crown you owner of hip hop, how many dollars did that put in your bank account? These arguments that you're having online about hip hop and crazy, how much money did that put in your bank account? It's fool's gold. You're fighting for Cracker Jack prizes because you get nothing. Zero. So shout out to Crazy Legs. The Drink Champs interview was fucking amazing. Okay. I will be discussing that and hopefully he will grace me with his presence again. Okay. And we can discuss it a little further. But all you guys that are chasing me around on YouTube, right? Claiming I'm obsessed with y'all, yet y'all chase me around channel to channel to channel. Like I'll be on a channel, I could be on a surfing channel. And one of you motherfuckers will find me on a surfing channel. Because I go to all kinds of channels to discuss shit. Yeah, you the girl, that blah. Like you guys chase me and I'm flattered. I'm flattered. I understand that this channel is very, very important to you. I get it. I'm a bad motherfucker. You think I just learned that on YouTube? I've been this way my whole life. I've literally been a bad motherfucker my whole life. Everywhere I went. Jen always got something to say. When I was a teenager, well, ask Jen. That's how I've been. I'm the baby of 4 siblings and people come to me for fucking advice and to fix issues in the family. I've been this way my whole life. So I get it. I get why I'm a thorn in your side. But if I were you, you dumb fuck, it's better on this side. It's better I'm on your side than your enemy because you will not win. And I always will remind you, I promise, of what a peon you are. So while you're chasing me around on YouTube, ask yourself, how's my credit score? Mine is great. How much money do I have in my bank account? Have I called my mother today? Oh, my mother's dead. When's the last time I took flowers to her grave? Did I wash my ass today? Do my kids like me? Oh, fuck, I got kids. It's the last time I paid child support. Oh, fuck, if I died tomorrow, is my family going to have to do a GoFundMe to bury my rotting corpse? Or do I have burial insurance and life insurance? There's so many things that you could be doing other than chasing women around on YouTube who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. Like, who raised you? Y'all are not only an embarrassment to your parents, but to society and the culture. Okay, you covet so much. You are a fucking embarrassment. If there was a board meeting tomorrow and white folk, because that's who owns hip hop, and white folk opened the door and said, come on in, Jamal and Tyrone. Let's divvy up this hip hop. You couldn't even have a fucking decent conversation with them. So there's a whole lot of claiming going on. No ownership. Zero. So you could claim all day and night on this bitch. It's not going to change a thing. It's not going to change that I'm going to keep talking about trending topics. It's not going to change that I'm going to keep giving props to Crazy Legs, who is a hip hop icon, pioneer, and contributor to hip hop, whether you like it or not. You can't change history, and you can't change the fiber of New York, and you can't change how hip hop happened. It's still happening. It changes every year. There's drill rap, trap rap, West Coast, down South rap. It's still developing. Hip hop is ever evolving and changing. If you are a hip hop kid and you change how you wear your Timbs, or you change how you wear your Yankee cap, or you change how you wear a bubble coat, you are also a contributor, okay, to the culture. So, y'all are weirdos. It's fucking weird, man. Like, YouTube is high school for real, and you motherfuckers are weird as motherfuckers get. Don't own shit. And what gets me is that y'all don't even give a fuck. No te da vergüenza. You're not even embarrassed to not own shit. You be not owning shit with your chest. Like, you be happy and glad on these machines, not owning shit with your chest. Loud and proud. I don't own a motherfucking thing, but I'm gonna tell her Crazy Legs he wasn't a contributor. He was a visitor in hip hop. And y'all be saying that shit with you. Y'all be proudly not owning shit. Proudly. My credit score fucked up. Can't stand my mother. Don't know my daddy. But I'm gonna tell her Crazy Legs was a visitor. Y'all are weirdos. Y'all are weirdos. I don't speak your language. I don't understand y'all. Y'all are not my tribe. I don't know who the fuck y'all are. Y'all like these weird crabs that infected society and social media. Like, y'all were always there. Y'all were always that virus. But for some reason, social media was like the heat in the bathroom that develops the mold. Right? You follow? Social media was that heat and humidity. Right? The mold was always there. It just needed the right environment. And social media is that humidity, right? That grew the mold. Y'all are the mold. Y'all are a fucking virus. I don't know you people or meet you people in real life. But oh, do you thrive on these keyboards? You got a whole life with these keyboards. It's weird. Weird. What it is. I don't know who the fuck raised y'all. Y'all are like fucking feral human beings. Like, y'all just, you couldn't have been raised. You were dragged up by somebody. It's fucking weird. Shout out to Crazy Legs. Let's get this show started. Yes, I like drill rap and trap. I'd like to bring up the always lovely and talented gracing us with her presence. We missed her last two streams and it was not fun, but Lily is back and we are glad to see her back. Hi, Lily.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Mama. Oh, you're making me nostalgic because the first time we were live, you had the little mirrors behind you. I remember.
Yes, I'm in my living room today because I left my extension cord at the other place. So, oh well.
Hi. You see me, right? I'm like, I had time. I was cooking. I ain't had no time.
Yeah, it definitely be like that. It definitely be like that. Trust me. Like, I'm just happy to be here. Like, oh my God, I have not been feeling well.
I know.
Yeah.
But we're glad you're here. And you got your water? You got your water?
Yep, I got my water. I got my electrolytes.
Good.
Yeah. But like every time I thought I was good, like I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'll get up and start trying to clean up. Bam, right back down again.
But you know what? Sometimes it's just your body telling you, all right, chill out for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill for a minute. Right.
Yeah.
But we're glad that you are back. We missed you. People did ask about you. I have no saint in the back. Hola, no santo.
Hello, hello. Sometimes it's COVID. Sometimes it's COVID.
What? Don't you put that out in the atmosphere for our Lily.
I'm just saying. I had it a few weeks ago when I told you I was feeling bad. It was ended up being COVID, but it didn't.
Yeah. You know what? I was going to take a test while I was sick, but I was like, I'm not going no damn way. I'm too sick to go anywhere, you know. And well, you know, it was funny.
No. Like Erica, she took a test and because it hits her a lot. We had it both at the same time last time. We had it both at the same time this time. It hits her hard, like. And so we took her to the doctor, and she had it. And I'm like, I bet you I got it. So I took a little test, and I got it too. But
did you guys get jabbed though? Did you get the jab?
Oh yeah, but that's a long time ago. But yeah, we got it before we got COVID before we got the shot, and then this is the first time we had it. You know, this is 2 years later. But did you see Friday's show, Lily?
I didn't.
Yeah, I'd like to call that episode 2.5 Men, and I'm the half man, and the other two guys are the men. Oh my God. I was like, Jesus Christ. It was great. I mean, Haran and Mr. Justin. Yeah,
there's lots of info, lots of good info. That's why I tell guys, take notes. Ain't no shame in taking notes because these guys were just kicking so much science, and making life simpler, I think. For men out here who are still interested in women. I know a lot of them are MGTOW and they're not, but a lot of men are still out here wanting to date, right? Everybody's not a miserable fucking ogre, okay? There are still people out here that are hopeful and want to be in a relationship. And no saint, you aren't the first person who said to me, like, I wish I would have heard these shows when I was much younger.
Yeah. I had two sisters. I didn't have brothers. I mean, and listen, I'm not gonna lie, not everybody's the same. So they have a mindset too. But I certainly could have used some of those tips because it would have helped me along the way. Like understand, okay, this is what's not working for me, or this is what's working, or I can use this. It definitely would have helped.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that I love the most about what we do here, because it's not one note, okay. So you might get cussed the fuck out up here. You're going to laugh. You're going to learn. And I'm telling you, and I say this every time, every Freaky Friday, I walk away learning something.
Yep.
Every single one. And I love the way we do it here. Like when people, our guests or us can come up and feel comfortable and we just put it out there and it is what it is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that, we all realize that humans are freaks. That's it. Like, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a newfound understanding after conversations I had with you, Lily, where before it's like, we're living in a time now where everything needs a label, and it's like you're asexual, you're this sexual, you're this sexual, and when you told me people are just sexual, I'm like, that's what the fuck it is. I felt like a light bulb went on over my head because I'm like, that's really all the fuck it is. And then it's different temperatures of it, but it's just that human beings are sexual. Like when you watch Animal Planet and you watch animals, you know what I mean, fucking, like those animals are not thinking what kind of sexual they are. They're just sexual. That is what they do.
Right. And for those who don't think that animals can be homosexual, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Right. So it's just like we're animals, just like it's the same thing. It's that simple, but people like to complicate it. And we know why. It's just based off of social constructs. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That's why
Social constructs, boy. Ooh.
Yeah. That's why I don't take it personal.
Right.
I don't get upset with ignorance anymore because I understand some of it's ignorance. I mean, a lot of it's ignorance, but some of it's willful ignorance. And some people just want to be mad. Some people just want, you know.
Lily.
They can be mad. They got that right.
Oh I went to and I'm so proud of Crazy Legs. I am, because he's been so fucking humble. Like he's super. I'm like, oh fuck, you are a hip hop pioneer. You took b-boying all over the world. You did that.
Yeah.
You did it. You were in Flashdance. You did that. Mm-hmm. You went to different countries. You took b-boying from the Bronx all over the world. That is who you are.
Without social media, what these people fail to realize, what life was like coming up in this type of industry without social media. Anybody who did it before us, my hat goes off to them. I bow to them because it's hard with this.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that away and you're able to get worldwide success and recognition.
Without a manager, without an agent.
Right. And change the culture. Like you move the culture, you move the needle. That is saying a lot. So anyone who hasn't done that and has something to say, I don't want to hear it. Because now if you've done that, okay, I might listen, but y'all haven't, like you said, you ain't even cleaned your house. You ain't washed the dishes.
Right.
Right. But people always want to come for those who are doing better than them, that they don't understand or whatever. And that's why I said I've just come to the conclusion that a lot of people, they just want to be miserable. But these things that we're on right now has fucked up people's brains. Like they're just, I don't understand it anymore. I give up. I give up.
That it just exasperated the misery. And we know people like that personally. Like I have relatives and friends I don't deal with anymore, that they find the problem to every solution, or they find the problem where there isn't one. Right? Because it's one thing, like if I'm giving you a solution, you're like, no, that's not going to work because X, Y, and Z. And those people make my skin crawl. Like when I'm working on set, I'm working on a project, my close friends, either the ones that shoot for me or the ones that edit for me, they know my thing. I have my own mantra on set. Do not come and tell me what can't be done. Tell me how we got to work around it. Like, I don't even like that language. I don't like when I'm planning a shoot with somebody. And I understand that their expertise may be production and behind the scenes, but I need them to tell me, this is what we got to work around, Jen. Don't come and tell me we can't do that. On set, that makes my skin crawl.
My thing, and I say this, mine is the same. It's just I say it a little different. I always say, don't ever bring me a problem without a solution.
I love it.
Keep it to yourself until you come up with a solution. Because right now, this is not the time to be throwing more things on my plate. Because I hired you because I trust you. Right. And part of you doing your job is problem solving, is troubleshooting. I don't care if it's craft services or if it's behind the camera or if it's hair and makeup. You are a problem solver. That is your job. That's what you're here for.
Amen. Because and all those moving parts are important. All of them, the craft services, the PA, the writer, the AD, like all of that is important. So when someone, and people have done that to me before, I'm like, don't speak to me in that language. Tell me, this is what we got to work around, because there's what you want. And then there's what we got to work around because you want that. But there's what we can do instead of that. Don't come and tell me that can't be done, because I'm like, I won't want to work with you.
No,
I want to
never.
work with you.
I don't want nothing to do with that. That is so stressful because it's
Mm-hmm.
already so much going on, especially if it's your project.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like, don't dump any more things on my lap.
Right. David Diller is hilarious. He said, must be a dollar sale on Audacity. They stay coming at you. Yeah, they stay doing it. But, again, salute, Tennessee.
They're obsessed.
Again, yeah, again, it's like, it shows the importance of what I'm saying, right? It shows the importance of what I'm saying. Even if the importance is slapping you in the face with reality, because you don't have to like me in order for me to slap you in the face with reality. You don't have to like me, right?
No.
But I've always been a tough love kind of person, and I always will be. But I just love how people are finding a problem where there isn't any. And then there's a lot of hypocrisy, right? Because you take someone like Eminem, for example, right? I mean, they suck his dick. They suck his dick. Now, he is not a pioneer or contributor. He didn't grow up in the New York City metro area, but they suck his dick, right? So they would do that before they would embrace a Jamaican, an African, a Haitian, a Puerto Rican, a Dominican that were actually present, contributing from the 70s to the 80s, right? They got a problem though. You Jamaican, you ain't, they went after Busta Rhymes.
I'm sorry. I'm
the Rhymes.
not the Busta Rhymes that Busta Rhyme. Not him.
Yes. Yes, Busta Rhymes.
One of the best entertainers, there's two entertainers, rappers that you do not want to go behind. One of them died, rest in peace, DMX. You do not want to go behind DMX on a performance. And you definitely do not want to go behind Busta Rhymes on stage.
Right.
Even
Right.
at this age, in his 50s, you do not want to go I don't care who, you do not want to go behind this man.
Right.
And come on, before he was Busta Rhymes, the solo name, whatever, like they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea. He was part of when they don't realize the Crazy Legs, the Busta Rhymes, and just everyone in that era, the dues that they had to pay in order for these rappers to have it the way that they have it today.
Yeah, and Biggie's Jamaican. So it's funny how these people, they're like, oh, the Jamaicans, and they trying to claim hip hop. Where did that problem start? I never saw Crazy Legs. I never saw Busta Rhymes get on any platform and say hip hop belongs to me. I belong to, like, who are you people? But how else are they going to sell their t-shirts? How else are they going to sell their acronyms? Because those acronyms are very important.
Yes.
Right?
I forgot about acronyms. Well, you didn't mention that at first now. Hold on now.
Yeah.
That changes everything. They have acronyms. So that changes the whole thing. Maybe
Changes
they're on something.
It changes everything. But again, it's being divisive for pay. And, when I got to social media, YouTube specifically, I was like, oh, we got beef? Like, for real? What? I'm from New York. I don't know where y'all from. Right. I'm from New York. Like, we have New York is a culture. It's like they're little subcultures in New York, but New York itself is a culture, right? Yeah. When we say a word, it got dead ass. Like it goes. We have our own language, our own swag, our own walk, our own talk. We got the subways and like we have our own culture, and people outside of that culture have the audacity, like David Dillon said, to tell us what goes on in New York.
They do. I'm trying to erase the word hate out of my language. I despise that. When people don't understand the New York culture, and since they don't understand it, common sense would be to listen.
Yes.
More, right? Ask more questions instead of just just boldly stating your unsolicited opinion about something that has been going on long before you got social media and some topic came up. Okay,
long before you were born.
Long before you were born. Like it's it's the same thing with the whole LGBT thing. Like it's the craziest thing. Like like the mainstream, especially after polls, started to come in and take all the language and adopt all the language and the shade and shade and tea and all the stuff like that you hear is mainstream now.
Yep.
It's been, Jen.
Yes, I do know, because they were saying, and I agreed with it. I'm like, I agree with it. They were saying like how women adopted gay culture.
Yes.
And it's true.
Yes.
Because, gay men would exaggerate certain features or habits or mannerisms, right? That was their thing. And then we morphed into women and we see them. Girl, I know you ain't trying to tell. I'm like, what the fuck? Just wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute. Right, like we used to just be like, girl, we used to be like, girl, don't play with me. Like, not to play with me. Not, girl, I know you ain't talking on me because what you not fitting to do. I'm like, what just happened?
This is kind of like, why are you sounding like an 80s ball master right now? Like, it was like, now I've kind of gotten used to it. But
now it's like, it's regular now.
It's mainstream, but it's so mainstream that people don't even know where it came from. So they'll act like, and I'm like, baby, the gays have been like this, just like New York, the gays came up with their own language, literally because a lot of things had to be done in secrecy and hiding and things like that. That's one thing. And then you had the over exaggerating part. The flamboyance was a kind of a fuck you to society, right? That's what it was like. Oh, you don't like us? Okay, let me give you something not to like. So that's what the big over exaggeration.
Lily, I'm telling you, but that's why I am the way I am on the block. I'm like, you don't like me? Watch Tomorrow's Subject, bitch. Come back.
Yes.
Because that shit you're telling me not to talk about, I'm going to talk about it again.
Right.
And if I don't talk about it here, I'm going to talk about it on Instagram. If I don't talk about it here, I'm going to talk about fucking Facebook. Right. I'm going to give you a real reason not to like me. A real one, though. Not the pretend one in your head, because I remind you of somebody you can't have or rejected you. I'm a mirror to what you can't be, or not. I'm not talking about those surface, dislikes. I'm talking about, I'm gonna give you a real reason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remind you of why you're really mad. So I understand it. I completely understand. Twisting that knife. Like, all right, bitch. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's interesting.
I have a toxic trait like that. My toxic trait, if I get an inkling that you don't like me, you don't want that. Because if I suspect I know what it is, I'm going to play stupid and I'm going to do it over and over and play as dumb as possible. Like, just like, I won.
Yep. I'll give you a real reason. I'll give you a real reason, which is specifically why I'm even doing this topic tonight. No, saying, what's your toxic trait?
My toxic trait? You mean something that somebody doesn't like about me?
No, something that you do is just toxic as fuck. You know it's toxic, but you still do it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm clueless on that kind of stuff.
So you're not like, okay, when someone gets on your nerves, are you purposely sarcastic? Are you purposely petty? Or?
Yeah, I'm probably sarcastic. I think.
Okay.
I think I'm more sarcastic.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Don't even, because I've seen your toxic trait and I've seen it come out with George. I've seen it.
What is it?
Like, George would be saying something, you'd be like, and then you go to, it's like you wait, and then you start looking at him. You're like, oh, wait till he finishes so I can say what I gotta say. So you got a little toxic trait. It's a little bit.
I'll be over here laughing when you do it. I'll be laughing my ass off.
Okay.
It's not as bad as ours.
You tell me about myself. I just need to be more aware of that. But I want to say something, because you guys are talking about. It's kind of funny that we're going into this next. The topic of the show. We're going to go into the topic of the show, and I wanted to get this out the way. When Lily was talking about how and Jen, you were talking about how women were grafting things out of the gay community that they didn't do before. Two things. China Max sounds like a damn pasta. All right. I know about him. I never listened to his music. And freaking, he's got to act like he puts on this I'm from the hood.
I agree with you.
Black scent, I guess, quote unquote. And it drives me crazy.
Okay, I agree with you. Here's the thing. I still don't know what he does. I didn't go that far. Is he a rapper, a DJ, or what is China Mac? Somebody help me out in the chat. What is China Mac? Because I didn't go that far.
Put Hamburger Helper in or something. China Mac.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know if he's a rapper or a DJ or a producer. I don't know what he does. I stopped at the beef between him and Charleston White. I don't know what he does. But since it was buzzing, I was like, well, let me go look and see who this cat is. And I was on his live last night. He went live last night and I was on his live just, watching him. And I was like, he pours it on real thick.
Oh, hold on. Is he the guy that goes on Lord Jamar show?
Maybe. Asian guy? Maybe.
And the reason
Maybe.
because I don't know the guy's background. And you can be born somewhere and have an accent and have it.
That's true. It's this guy, Lily. That guy, Lily, on the right.
I think that's him. Yep. I read it. I discovered him last week and I felt the same way. I was like, what's going on? Can someone explain? I'm just going to turn because my ear hurts. Like, literally, that's what happened. Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's the fact that he pours on the bad grammar, and it's just like, come on, man.
I gotta agree with you because when I was watching him, I was like, I don't know, like he looked like a poser. He looked like a caricature of hip hop. But with that said, I don't know where he grew up. Somebody can correct me. I don't know where he grew up, but it's a tad thick.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that was him. That was him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tad thick. I thought. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was really confused. I thought it was a joke. Remember I was telling you about Jasmine guy on the show Harlem when she was supposed to do the Jamaican accent and I thought it was a joke. It gave me the same reaction. I was like, okay, you're not going to get me a second time. Is this a joke this time or is this a real accent? Like that's what I was saying.
What is, guys in the chat, who is China Mac? Is he a rapper? Is he a producer? Is he a DJ? What is he?
When you Google, the first thing it comes up as is rapper.
Okay, so he's a rapper. All right. China Mac is known for shooting and paralyzing the Asian rapper Jin Friend. What's up, Haran DeMarco?
I remember Jen. Now, Jen was Asian, but he was more authentic. You could tell he grew up around, and it didn't come because I grew up with people like that and like you know how it is. And so some of them you can tell like, girl, stop. And then some of them, it was just so just who they were. Mm-hmm. It's a big difference. You can tell the difference. Jen gave me more authentic and this guy was just, it was a character.
Okay, because I saw him last night on his live. I was like,
yeah, and I'm not. Who knows? Okay, let's just throw it out.
But again, I don't know his background.
Let's just throw it out there. I'm going to be honest. Maybe he does it to try to get away from because like Asian people aren't necessarily seen to be hip. I mean, maybe that's what he's covering up. But like, if you look at Eminem, didn't throw it on thick. The Beastie Boys, they kind of had a little rap thing going back. They didn't. Yeah. They sounded white. You can still make it. You can still make it if you're talented enough.
Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can.
But then on the other hand, you had Vanilla Ice who faked it and got caught. You know what I mean? Trying to say he was hard and he grew up in some suburb somewhere. So.
Well, listen, some of our rappers do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Ja Rule.
Yep. And Plies.
Yeah. A lot of our rappers do that.
Yeah, a couple of them. They say when you talk to them in person, you're just like, is this a scholar or something? Like, what's going on here? But they have to like dumb down. They get paid to act stupid, which is so sad. Like they literally get paid to dumb down and to act stupid.
They get paid to wear the caricature costume.
Yes.
Because
Well, that's
that's
what
what
this
that's
guy's
what
kind of.
sells.
That's how I feel that what he's doing. He's trying to.
Yeah, I don't know that guy's history, who he is, or where he grew up, or
We need to
anything like
find.
that. I just know that it looked weird to me on the surface. It looked a little much, and especially because I'm from New York, so it's kind of like, okay, all right. What's up, Haran DeMarco? Haran says, dropping in fan piece to all my toxic traitors. I can be dismissive and condescending, so I'm told.
We some toxic motherfuckers up here. Every human has their toxic traits.
Everybody.
And
okay, B Money says he's a rapper. He a real one. He's an authentic Asian street dude. David Dillon said former gang member, rapper. He made a song with Method Man. Someone else said he's whack. Kevin Cooper said he's done some dirt, but clearly he's one of those hotheads who hasn't learned his lesson. I would stay away from him.
You know, but I'm gonna tell you,
he grew up in homes with black kids. It's not an act.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. All of that can be true, right? But it still doesn't negate the fact that I feel like he's landed on thick. And I'm gonna tell you who else does it. We're not gonna sit here and debate if Nicki Minaj is from Queens, New York, from Southside Jamaica. We know that. But in my opinion, she lays her accent on super thick. You notice that? And I'm like, Nicki, we get it. Are you trying not to lose your accent, or what is it? I'm trying to, because it's like so. You know, it's just it is like, girl, it ain't that deep.
I mean, let's not pretend that New York is its own country, and we have people who we've seen them our whole lives who exaggerate that they're from New York. Like, they exaggerate it, and that's not gender specific, and it's not race specific. Because I've seen black, white, Asian, Latin. They do it. You know, the guys that be like, yo, I'm saying though, because let me tell you, so boom. Like, come on. It's like, you don't talk like that.
So is it? So that brings up an interesting point. Is it?
But some do. Some are true blue street.
I hear what you're saying, but like, I'm thinking this person saying he's from the street, he's a real one, and all this stuff. I mean, Jen, from what I understand, you grew up in the streets of the Bronx, right?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah, you don't sound like that.
I do not.
So I'm curious, like, and I'm assuming some of these people go to the same public schools. I'm wondering if some of it's an act anyway, like throwing in the, you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying, in general, though, not everybody. I'm sure there are people, because we got people.
Don't Gmail me, talk about you the hardest motherfucker in New York. We get it. We get it.
But I mean, it's like, even in New Orleans, you got there's certain things that people say, and they say it all the time. You know, like I'm trying to think of the thing here. I can't remember. I'm on the spot right now. But I'm just saying, it's just like,
the only time, honestly, that I sound, and you guys probably witnessed it, but the only time I sound super New York and I fall back in it is when I'm fucking up to here. Then the imaginary Timberlands are back on, my bubble coat is back on, but I have to be like, you know what I mean, really like, all right, motherfucker, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's I don't live in that space. But some people, you know what I mean? Again, China Mac could be street. However, I can go to Chinatown in New York City and find you some Chinese gang members, and they don't sound like that. Know what I'm saying? Right. And they're just as street and just as murderous.
Yeah, don't play with them.
Just as murderous, just as, you know what I'm saying? And they don't talk like, so he did pick up that culture, and he chose to speak that way.
You heard me. There's one. You heard me.
You heard me.
Heard me.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, it be's like that. You know what it is. You know what it is, no saint.
Like,
you know what it is. You know.
I want to go back to something that somebody said in the comments. They say he was a real one. What does that mean?
That's a great question.
I really want to know because I have my definition, but we hear that tossed around a lot. And that's a layered little phrase right there.
It is.
It's amazing.
B Money said real street dude.
Real street dude. Okay.
Lily, don't make me laugh because my fucking abs hurt.
Okay, listen, I look at a real one as I don't even say walk it like you talk it. Just talk it how you walk it. Walk it first and then say some shit. Don't say it, then try to catch up. So that's what a real one is. So if you say, look, I ain't street, I'm just trying to go to school, come home, do my homework, leave me out of it. That's a real one. That's real. Right. But if you say, anybody talk about my mama, I'm going off of their head on site. I'm expecting you to do that.
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm. It might not be right that you knocking motherfuckers out just left and right, but that's what you say you do. Which means I'm assuming that you can pay the consequences on your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, let's we have to have a whole New York culture topic one day.
Right.
Just on it. Since we're all New Yorkers, me, you, and Haran. No, saying no, you're not. But
that's okay.
You could still hang out with us. And we just have to have a whole right. You're a visitor, right? You wasn't even a contributor, son.
You didn't contribute to New York.
You didn't contribute, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
You didn't even buy a metro ticket.
I have one.
Okay.
Oh my God. This motherfucker mad fugazi though. He mad fugazi though. The fuck?
Word, son, word.
I mean, we can all put it on if we want.
Right. It's just like, God, I love living here. It's the best. The best people ever.
Oh my, the characters. You can't make them up. You can't write better characters than living in an apartment building in New York City. You can't write better characters than your neighbors. You cannot.
No, seriously. I mean, all you have to do is sit on the stoop. You got a whole show. Like in the summer, what do you need TV for?
In the summer.
My God.
You
don't need TV. Like it's just sit your ass on the stoop and just.
Yo,
like,
but
I talk about my neighbors, my Indian neighbors that are gay on Saturdays.
Yes.
Yeah, only on Saturdays.
Only on Saturdays.
Only on Saturdays, and they are consistent. And we love it. They're real ones. They're consistent. They just only on Saturdays. Don't. Yeah, no.
Just a little bit. You just need a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't need all the hormones. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little piece. Just a little piece.
Listen. Just side note. I started watching the Jared Fogle documentary.
I heard it's a
Netflix?
lot.
No, it's on Discovery ID. It's an ID. Yeah.
I've been saving that one because I heard it's a lot.
Lily, it is probably one of the worst pedophile cases I've ever heard. I didn't know that it was that bad. I thought it was just like, oh, he got caught, you know what I mean?
That's what I thought.
Pedophiling in Thailand. No.
Where did he come from?
I don't know where that guy came from.
Like, no, and I mean not like, oh, he came from Wisconsin. No, where the fuck did this man come from?
Oh.
Like, what made them choose him out of every person in the world who's lost weight?
Because he lost it eating the Subway
sandwiches. And Subway was like...
And he'd walk to Subway and, every day for lunch, and then he lost all this weight. So, great marketing. That's great. We can promote this as a good diet.
I'm going to come back to that.
It's like he went viral before viral era.
I need to see it, but yeah.
No, it's because they have, what makes it so horrible is that they're playing all the audio, because the reason why he got caught, long story short, he got caught because he was talking to this lady and he mentioned liking middle school girls. And she was like, what? So then she kept talking to him and she was like, I want to talk to him long enough so I could tell the cops, this dude, you know, he's going from school to school to school dealing with kids. You may want to look at him. So what happened was they was like, great, you're going to be, you know what I mean, our mole. We'll wire you. We'll record everything. She was like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. I'm letting you guys know so you could, but you know how FBI is, they need a lot of evidence. So she played the role and spoke to him for a long period of time, recording all his conversations, and the shit that man says on those recordings, it's a wonder why he's still breathing oxygen. Like he really should have, like, no lie, no joke. I'm not even kidding right now. A man like him should be put down
in front of all of us.
Like put down. And I don't even mean on some like revenge thing. I mean, he is a damaged human being to the point where there's no fixing it, and he will forever be a danger to children.
Yeah, that's why I believe in castration.
Like, so what would you do with a pit bull? You put him down. There's no helping him. The dog has lost his marbles. That man has lost his marbles. The way he views children, he has lost his marbles. How he didn't get put down, I do not know.
I'm going to say this because you know how I feel when it comes to children. I don't play when it comes to children. And when it comes to them, I believe in cruel and unusual punishment. I'll turn my head while whoever does whatever. And I didn't, you know, I don't know anything. Because, like if somebody were to put him down, I didn't, you know, like I said, I don't see anything. I don't know.
And he only got 15 years.
Wow. He should be almost out then.
Now we got a problem. Okay, but that's where I was about to go with this is, I don't know if people know this, but just like drug addiction, the what do you call it? With and I hate to put it in the same thing, but there's no cure. There's no they haven't developed the only thing is castration. Like literally. So why the fuck aren't we implementing this? Like
they gotta get rid of their hands too, Lily.
That too. I don't give a fuck. Just do whatever. Because honestly, I feel like putting them down will be too easy for him. But then we still got to think about the victims. But I would rather know that you're in the world somewhere with no hands, no balls. You know.
I mean, casual. I mean, he would talk about assaulting children like the way you would talk about, hey, let's go get some ice cream.
Yeah,
it's really weird because what made him think that was normal to tell a person, not even knowing he's recorded, like talking about to someone like it's like, yeah, no big
because she groomed him to trust her.
Yeah.
So he kept going. He didn't spill the beans all the way in the beginning. In the beginning, he was very, very vague. But the longer they spoke, the more he felt, oh, I can tell you this, I can tell you that, to the point where it got to, would you mind if I looked at your children?
Whoa. Wow. That's crazy. So his mind ain't right for sure. Anyway, I mean, even before knowing all this stuff, but it's like, to me, it's like, it's almost, I'm thinking he wants to get that up. Like he's got it all pent up. He can't tell anybody. He trusts this person. So now he's going to tell.
Right. Now it's like, oh, I have somebody to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And what's really sad is that, okay, he got 15 years here, but it's really sad all the children that he sexually assaulted in Thailand, and they're not going to see any justice at all.
Oh, so he was a
international.
Yeah, and what they got him here for was light. It was child pornography, 500 photos of child pornography. So it's not even, you know what I mean? It's I've never, and I've heard bad cases, but I've never heard a man talk about sexually assaulting children that conveniently. I mean, it got to the point where he asked her, like, do you want to see me pound out a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old?
Well, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me when I turned 18. Mm-hmm. So, I always loved attracted to older guys. And I always looked young for my age. I always had a baby face. Mm-hmm. So I turned 18, looked every bit of 13 to 14. Okay. Mm-hmm. Met this guy. Dating, I'm always grown, dating older men. So this man, if I remember correctly, was like, he should, still shouldn't have been dating me or even trying to date me, but I was grown. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I think he was like 30, 31. Okay. So we started talking, and when he found out I was 18, he dumped me. Not dumped me because we weren't even together. We just started talking. He let me know that he was no longer interested. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, but I'm legal. He was like, yeah, but that's what the problem is.
Jesus.
So I'm thinking, like, this is not a funny joke, right? Like, and I'm just coming out of teenage life, but I was always grown for my age. So I was the teenager who was I was Aaliyah dating R. Kelly, pretty much. That was me, right? So even then, with me being someone who was but it was anyway, like I was wondering, like, is this a joke? So I was like, I kind of was like the woman, like, okay, let me try to see where his mind is at. But I commend her for following through with that, because I only heard and it wasn't nothing like, he didn't go graphic, but the worst thing he said before I just couldn't listen to anymore. I was like, so ideally, like, what's your ideal age? And I would never forget, this was in the 90s. I'll never forget this. He said 11 or 12.
Okay, so that's exactly what she asked him. Like, the FBI was telling her, like, to ask certain questions. Dude was like, he went down to 7. And he would literally ask her, do you want to see me have sex with a child? And she started getting, she fell into like a deep depression. She started suffering from paranoia. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat because she had to handle that. He said, well, what about your kids? You got 2 kids. Like, you got a girl or a boy. Which one would you mind me looking at?
Her follow through to make this happen, because what I'm hoping happens from this is, he might have got 15 years, but because they know how sick this guy is, that they dig up some more stuff like they did R. Kelly.
But yeah, and the fact that this is coming out now, and I'm sure, like I said, he can't be far from getting released. It's gonna get in the public psyche again. I
think that's great that they're doing it like close to his release.
He's not going to be able to. If people recognize him, he's not. That's the thing.
He's very recognizable.
What Lily was saying is that's interesting, because she, like me, when I was 18 and 20, I always looked younger for my age. So it's not about how young you look; it's the fact that you're not legal. So it's something about them being illegal that also heightens their curiosity, or turns them on, I guess.
Right.
That man blatantly told me I was too old.
Yeah. At 18.
I mean, they are out here. They are out here. But that Jared Fogle dude, it's bad, and it's crazy because there was an inmate. He's released now, but there was an inmate who beat him up really bad because he was saying that he got tired of people giving him special treatment, even though he was in like PC. He was like, they were treating him. He was with the other pedophiles and rapists, and they were treating him like he was a celebrity. And Jared Fogle I did not realize until I saw that documentary how big Jared Fogle was. He was an A-lister. I thought this was just a Subway sandwich dude. I'm talking about Good Morning America, the Jay Leno, like the night shows, the celebrities, the athletes. He was A-list.
Yeah, him and Flo are like the biggest commercial people. Like, they have the dream job of anyone who's in the commercial, because we know commercials pay real damn good. Like, those are my favorite gigs to do, is them damn commercials, because they the residuals and all that good stuff. But him and Flo have dream jobs when it comes to that.
I mean, this man was global, stayed on a flight, interviews, money, endorsements, charities. Like, he was, I had no idea, because I remember fucking the Subway guy, of course. I didn't know he was that big and that connected. I did not know he did that many shows, movies, commercials. I was like, whoa, which facilitated, his lifestyle. I mean, they were doing like a little sting operation, and I haven't finished it yet. I still got like an episode and a half to go, but they were doing a sting operation where they made her do like a fake party, and he was like all into like who's gonna be there, what ages. He was telling her how to groom the kids at the party, like, start talking about. He was telling her start talking about like like body parts and stuff in front of them, and start telling them that, like Jared would love to like hang out with you and talk to, and he's talking about little kids. So he was telling the lady how to groom the kids. So when he came to the party, the kids will all be loose with like, Uncle Jared is here. Like it's really, really it is you gotta watch it. I was floored. I was like, and I'm usually not taken aback, but he was so, it's like being a fly on the wall of how a pedophile thinks and operates day in and day out. And it is stomach turning. It's stomach turning to hear him say some of the shit he says. So I can't even imagine how she was. And she said that he would obsessively call her 10, 20 times a day to talk to her. I mean, obsessively call her all day long. And she would have to go in another room because their kids were in the house. So I still have like an episode and a half left, but I was like, whoa.
My mind, this always boggles my mind. Because I deal with, oh God, like just the fact that like, I always try to be like this spiritual, like, we all are, do we all have some good in us? I try to do all of it, but then, this comes out and you're just like, I don't know about that part,
Yeah.
and I try to find the duality and everything, but then there's just times where I can't do that. And so then I'm just wondering, nature versus nurture, basically. What is that? What goes? Because I just don't understand it. I can't understand. There's a lot of things I can be like, okay, I get that. I get people loving youth, right? I think a lot of people like youth, but that children, like,
and when you hear him talk, it's just like it makes you so sad because, okay, he got locked up here for whatever, for the child pornography, but it makes you so sad because you think about those innocent children in Thailand who are not protected, who are pimped out by their own people.
Right. And that stays with you the rest of your life.
Really sad, especially in the Philippines. Oh my God. I was watching a documentary about the little kids in the Philippines.
Cambodia,
really
I think is the worst. Have you seen documentaries on Cambodia?
I've seen Philippines. It was pretty bad.
Okay. It's probably on the same, like, it's like, yeah, it's.
And there was one lady in the Philippines trying to fight it, but she said it's impossible because the parents need the money.
But I feel like that when it comes to the R. Kelly situation, a lot of these grooming situations, I feel like, and even with a Jared, when it's that type of situation and people like access to celebrity and fame and money, people sell their children. Okay.
Oh yeah, he eventually found a partner, a dude that was running around him doing it. You have to watch it. Like, watch the Jared Fogle, the Subway guy documentary. It is insane. And these people are out there. You gotta watch who you leave your children with. You gotta, you know what I mean? They're all usually cuddly. It's usually the least person you suspect.
That's what my mother did not play. Let me tell you something. We weren't leaving her sight until we could like adequately discuss, like we understood what the good touch, the bad touch, and I mean, and then she would question the hell out of us when we would come home. She didn't care. We went to see Jesus. She was gonna question us.
My dad, I mean, first of all, people feared my dad as it was. But aside from that, my dad didn't play the sleepover shit. And the like girls sitting on guys' laps. He didn't care if you were related to them. There was no sleepovers. He was like, ain't nobody gonna sleep over here. And you ain't sleeping over nobody's house. My father was super strict with that.
That's funny because my mother, it's growing up, like looking back, I get it. But yeah, she didn't like us unless it was, because my cousins and I, we grew up more like siblings. So unless it was over there, it was really hard to sleep over somebody's house. They could sleep over our house, but not even that often because my mother really didn't like nobody else's kids but her own. And and we was on thin ice. So it wasn't like a bunch of sleepovers going on in my house. But she didn't play that, and I'm glad she did. And now looking back, because a lot of things she used to do, I used to think was obsessive and all of that stuff. But then now when I got older, became an adult, and then I can have conversations with my mother, adult to adult. it came out, and I found out that my mother had experienced it, and that's why she was so like, like,
Right.
you know, and thankfully my brother and we've never had to experience those things, you know, because of it. So
Watch your babies, man. Watch your babies. Watch your babies.
yeah,
On a lighter note, the Oscars were last night. No one got slapped.
no one got
Okay.
slapped.
No one got slapped, but what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel dragged Will Smith. It was very funny. It was very funny, I gotta say. He made a couple of jokes, and he even cracked a joke at the audience. He was like, you know, if someone comes up here and I'm paraphrasing, assault somebody, just do what you did last year, nothing.
I love it.
And then he was saying that there was literally a crisis management at freaking the Oscars yesterday. He was like, and you're not just gonna run up here because I got Adonis Creed in the crowd and I got Spider-Man in the crowd, and then they put like the camera on Michael B. Jordan and the guy that's playing the new Spider-Man. So it was really funny. He was like, if you think you're gonna come up here and get jiggy with it.
So hold on, nobody called him obsessed this morning and say all the things that they said about Chris Rock about. Okay.
No, but it was well written, well thought out, very, very funny. It was funny, but he definitely dragged Will on that. He definitely did.
You know, did I mention this? Because I don't know what people expected from Chris Rock. And what I mean by that is you have he's obsessed. Why is he bringing it up now? Da 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 blah 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 blah. Okay. When I put myself into his shoes, I literally wouldn't have done anything differently. Not one thing. Meaning, do they understand the level of how calculated he was to roll it out the way he did, to not take not one interview, to not put a sub tweet, not do anything and say, no, bitch, I'm going to talk about it one time only. I'm going to monetize off of it because it happened to me. It was my pain. Bitch, you're going to pay me for my pain.
Right. I mean, everybody else was eating off of it like vultures. Everybody else was the blogs, the vlogs, the gossips, the ET, the Entertainment Tonight, the TMTs. Everybody got paid. Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett, you know what I mean? Did her little Red Table Talk. Will Smith did his apology. You know, he did his thing. Where's the person that got assaulted? Anybody seen him? Hello? Somebody got hit, right?
Plotting.
Right. No, he was amazing, but I'm convinced too we live in the era of contrarians. Like if someone says it's up, no, it's down. Someone says it's down. It's black, no, it's white. It's purple, no, shut the Stop typing like Joe Budden says. Stop. You sound stupid.
What do you say? Go to bed?
Yes. Speaking of Oscars and Oscar fashions, Russell Wilson is trending again as Simp of the Year because he let his wife wear this on the carpet.
He let his wife.
He let her.
So, in true manosphere fashion, did they give a solution on how not to let, like, how this should not happen? Like, was he supposed to like grab her? Like, I don't know. Do they give list of solutions of how it's supposed to go? Or?
I mean, they were saying that she's running the house, that he looks miserable, that he's just putting up with whatever she does. I'm like, you do know her last twerking video, he recorded it on the beach and he was giggling and they were having the time of their lives.
Because he has Sierra and you have
the keyboard and my comment section.
Gotcha. Oh, all right. Cool. All right. So
that is what they have, Lily.
Yeah. So we see why Russell's just like, happy, and look who's twerking in front of him. Look who he comes home to. Look who he goes to bed with.
David Dillon, no. David Dillon said the crab walk in that dress, the praying mantis in that dress, no. No. With the legs cocked open, tippy toes. Y'all know I hate that dance. Don't mess with me.
That is So funny.
All right, so let's segue with this last hour into this. And this is, we could keep this light because this guy, again, this is YouTube world. Nobody knows this motherfucker across the street. Nobody knows him. But I did find it interesting. Tonight's topic that I wanted to do, circling back to China Mac, right? That's his name? China Mac? China Mac. Circling back to China Mac, the rapper, the real one. Charleston White on the left is what and you guys could correct me in the chat, please, if I'm wrong, but I know him to be like, I don't know, he does hip hop commentary. He's a YouTube character. If he had a career at any point in time, if he was a rapper, actor, producer, whatever, you guys let me know in the chat. I wasn't going to research that deeply into Charleston White. I know him from being very controversial online. That is all I know about that man. That is all I cared to know. I just found it interesting that he's probably said publicly the worst things I've ever heard about the LGBTQ community, about race, about rape, and he still has his social media platforms. So it was interesting to me because Andrew Tate got ripped down, Farrakhan got ripped down, Trump got ripped down, you know what I mean? And they have never, look at the kitty.
I know, she's like, hey. She's like, you want a different stoop today.
How cute and cuddly. So, you know, it's interesting to me why they're letting this guy live. So when I say the worst I've heard. So he went into this whole rant spiel, and I had the video, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to play the video.
No, we don't want to put that up.
I know, like, I don't know.
I've heard some of them. Yeah.
You know the video I'm talking about. So I was like, and then I was trying to like put like bleeps on it, and it was just too, by the time I finished the bleeps, it was hardly no dialogue left. So I was like, I scrapped it. But basically what he said like 2 days ago was that he was attacking Asians, and he was saying that he hates Asians and they're only good for, you know, sucking dick and they're prostitutes, and that they should be brutal, the women should be brutally raped. And he's yelling this into his camera phone, and he's on Instagram, and the babies, Asian babies, should also be brutally sexually assaulted and sodomized. And he hates them the way he hates gay people. And that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is all the minions that are agreeing with him and saying he has a right to say that. Now, what's interesting about him is that he's what I spoke about before, how sometimes oppressed people turn into oppressors and they use oppression as their excuse, right? So he's literally saying we Black people have the right to say whatever we want to say about white, Black, whoever, gay people, because we've got it the worst in this country. So we got a right to talk this way because we're not really racist, because we don't have the power of systemic racism. And I'm being a lot more eloquent than he is, if you guys know who Charleston White is. So it's interesting to me, and that's why my thumbnail was, why aren't Black racists getting canceled, right? And I think we had this discussion before, Lily, you, I, and Haran, where it's looking like the whole cancel culture is a class thing, not even a race thing. Because if someone famous had said what he said publicly on a public platform, I mean, they would wipe them from the face of the earth.
Yes.
Wiped from the face of the earth. For a lot, way less.
All you have to do is say, you know what? I don't know much about this thing that y'all want to put in my arm. So I'll wait, because I'll wait till more information. Oh, you'll wait. Delete. Like, right. So you can say a lot less. Yeah.
Right, a lot less. So I'm noticing this is the second time. The first one was Black China's mother, right? Did you see the whole rant she did about the LGBTQ and trans and all of that?
She's done a lot of them.
Okay. So I was like, everyone in the comments thinks it's funny. No one wants to cancel her. And then this thing with Charleston White, everybody thinks it's funny. Nobody wants to cancel. And now they're calling him a comedian, right? He said that Asian babies should be sexually assaulted and sodomized by big-dicked, angry men. He said it repeatedly. He doubled down today. Okay? So here's the thing. I was like, these people have something in common. Black China's mother and this guy have something in common.
Mental
They're,
illness?
they're both bums. They have nothing
Yeah.
but a social media following. They're both bums, right? So now I'm looking at cancel culture like, oh, this is a class thing. You guys like canceling people who are wealthy or famous. People you feel are above who? You.
You. Yes. Yes.
So it's not even the principle of, oh my God, how dare they talk like that about my race, my gender, my sexual preference. It's not that. It's these motherfuckers don't have nothing, so there's nothing to take. Who's next? Who's saying it? I'm waiting for somebody famous to say it so I could take something from them.
And like I always say, y'all don't give a damn about them kids. Because if y'all did, it would apply here too. They don't care. That's why I roll my eyes whenever people say but the church, shut the fuck up. It depends on who it is.
Mm-hmm. Cherokee Bill said he lost his channels. He just keeps starting new ones and going on other people's channels. Can't take nothing from somebody that don't got nothing. Right. But however, they are saying this in public and the reaction is what I'm talking about. How acceptable it is to people in the comments is what I'm talking about.
And people who are sharing it.
Right. And people that are associating themselves to this. Now, his show, I know the China Mac guy, he spoke up for Asian people, I guess. And he got his show canceled, his upcoming show, which was academic show featuring Charleston White. So per usual, when someone starts going viral, no matter how despicable they are online, all the crabs in the barrel and the vultures are like, well, let me pick the meat off these bones, however I can get it. So academics put him on some sort of comedy show or whatever. So that show got canceled. But he has other shows coming up in other states.
I'm just curious. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious because I heard China Mac say you got a show coming up, like he was going to pull up or something. Is that what he was kind of saying?
That's the same show, but that show got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled, but he acted like he was going to show up and so to me, and which is totally dumb to be telling people your plans. Okay, I mean, to
Absolutely.
me, I was like, how dumb is this guy? So something happens, he's going to jail while this other guy who said all this vile stuff is still
going to the hospital.
Yeah, well, going to the hospital, but he didn't lose anything yet. Well, he lost his show now,
but this man, he gives me a headache. But it's more so not even him at this point. I'm like you, Jen. I'm looking at society real side eye right now because there's a lot of people walking around with, I feel, undiagnosed mental illness, right? And it's just okay. There's a difference between you so damn crazy, or she crazy. No, that bitch is crazy. No, seriously, like she's crazy. Like, did she take her meds today? Crazy. So it went from the first you so crazy type entertainment to the she can get a little crazy to now it's full out mental illness vibes. Okay, I'm gonna just say vibes because I'm not at liberty to diagnose anyone. But it gives me those vibes because I've been around it. I know what it looks like. But like I said, even then, I still don't know. It's just give me those vibes, and it's just the way it's being rewarded now. Because I looked at the new lineup for Bad Boys LA or West or something like that on Zeus, and it has Raz B from, I want to say Y2K, but B2K.
B2K.
Yeah, and they have the other guy, Orlando, and somebody else. Like, it's just like these people clearly just pull things out of the sky and say the craziest things with no merit. No merit. It's clearly pulled out the sky. And then they're just put on every single platform. and then people monetize off of, make a lot of money on it,
Right.
and the person gets the attention that they're looking for. Because a lot of times, Jaguar Wright is another one. A
Yeah,
lot of times,
Jaguar, Krishan,
Krishan,
Blueface, all them people are batshit. You know what I mean? The mothers that are involved in this, and then you see the mothers and you're like, oh, that's why, you know what I mean, these idiots are running around like idiots. Charleston White is very interesting. I haven't heard things like that said, and then so many people are co-signing him and saying, I was reading the comments and they were like, yeah, we need Charleston White, protect Charleston White, we with Charleston White. I was like, this man said that infants should be sexually assaulted and sodomized. And he doubled down. And that you, in the comments, because you quote unquote oppressed, right? Because you're oppressed in this country, you think it's okay that this man is saying the things that he's saying. I'm like,
so did the children oppress you? The babies, did they oppress you? Like, I'm trying to understand.
and then Asians. Like, he's not even talking about white people. He just picked the ethnicity. He was like, just like the other idiots picked, like, oh, Puerto Ricans and hip hop, y'all are the enemy. This guy is like, Asians, y'all are the enemy. The dude, the other charlatan online, it's the Caribbean people, it's the Jamaicans and the Africans and the Haitians and so every week it seems interesting because it seems like this certain demographic, because it's definitely some, not all, okay? This certain demographic of Black people who insist on being problematic, every week they're just looking for a new enemy to develop, and then they all congregate and be like, yeah, they're the ones that's trying to get us. We're all, you know what I mean, either you're white or you're not.
Right.
And we're not. It doesn't matter if Haitian, Jamaican, Dominican, Puerto Rican. We're not white. We're not no saint. Right? So it's funny to me how everybody's trying their damnedest to be divisive, as divisive as they possibly get. Every week there's a new enemy, every week. But for someone to say the things that he did and double down, and to see people, they like a voice that's sticking it to the man. But now it's getting weird because it's beyond sticking it to the man. It's sticking to whoever. Asian babies, Chinese food workers, like it's anybody now. It's like,
I'm gonna tell you, I was introduced to him through the first video or rant I seen him go on, or issue, was the one with T.I. I think that's what blew him up.
okay.
I mean, of course, people knew of him, and I still wasn't clear. Even through that, it wasn't clear where they knew him from. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I don't know if I ever told you, T.I. is one of my least favorite people in the industry, right? For many, many, many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Not as an artist, I do like some of his old music, a lot of his old music, but as a person, he literally drives me nuts. Okay.
Right.
But then
Same.
oh God, like drives me nuts. But then when I saw Charleston White go at him, and I remember thinking as I was watching it, I was like, okay, on one hand, you would like, and I'm talking to me, I'm like, I would think I would be kind of glorifying this moment,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't for some reason. It just didn't seem right. It was something about it that gave me a lot of what we see in the negativity we see in the chat sometimes. It gave me that. It gave me that somebody was just angry and they wanted to punch up, and that and I remember the comment section, the people were sharing it and how they were like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, but what actually happened again? Like, I'm trying to figure out what's his real it, because the way he was going in, you would have thought that T.I. slayed his whole family.
Right.
And so it was just something about it that just didn't seem right. So I couldn't even really get into it, even though I don't like the T.I. guy.
Right.
I mean, he drugged T.I. Like, when I say he drug him,
I remember the video. I remember the video.
It just didn't seem deserving. It just didn't, I don't know.
And it's like, because
1 second.
And it's because the clowns, right? Like I said, I think I said this last time I was on, the clowns thrive in this country. Like America is clown country. So the worse and more vile you are, the more attention you're getting now. It's just like Krishan and Blueface, that relationship. That's one of the most toxic public relationships I've ever seen. A chick is missing a tooth. They're always drunk. They're always high. They're always beating on each other. But they're very popular, very, very, very popular in the blogs. Very popular. They're like the ghetto blog sweethearts, right? Constantly. So now we're seeing Charleston White. The same thing is happening with him. Very, very vile individual. Very, very vile. Probably one of the most vile people that's on social media right now. And people are loving him. He's gaining followers. People are co-signing him in the chat. But I think he's proof that anybody can be racist. He is confirming that Black people can be racist. Now, let me pause right there, because there's this myth that racism only means systematic, right? If you're a white banker and you could redline a Black person from getting a loan, you can only be racist. That's what racism means. No, that's a part of racism. That's a part. That's not the whole pie, okay? Charleston White is very racist. There are Black people who agree with him that are very racist. I've seen Black people throw tacos in chats trying to make fun of Latin people. Okay. I've seen Black people do the white trash thing, trying to make fun of white people. So anybody can be racist. Anybody can be racist. But for some reason, the scapegoat that they use is, oh, I can't redline anybody, so I can't be racist. I'm prejudiced or I'm biased. No, you're racist. You are a racist. You think that your race is superior and therefore you can bash other races. That is a part of racism. And then there's the redlining, and there's the systematic oppression. Then there's the pipeline, the prison pipeline, and what happens in courts, and why people of color get more time than white people. So there are a lot of different components to racism, but racism isn't, oh, if a Black or Puerto Rican person goes to get a loan, they get redlined. Like, no, that's not all that racism is. Charleston White is a racist. However, he claims he can be racist and Black people can be racist because of slavery and police brutality. His words, not mine.
Well, anytime I've heard the argument about in not being, Black people can't be racist because they don't have power. So, all right, let's take away the whole power thing. You think it's any better to still feel the way you feel? In other words, I always say, okay, then you're a bigot. I mean, is that any better? I mean, it's the whole act of what you said. It's not what I'm describing it as. So yeah, if you want to not be called, if you want to use your definition of racism as you have to have power, all right, well, you still have all the ugliness of racism just without the power. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was vile. I think that some of it, listen, I don't even know this guy. I'd never heard of him until he popped up last night.
Yeah, because he's doesn't exist off of here.
But to go to get popular, it's not as easy as people think. Some people luck up and go viral because something happened to them and it was funny. So these people are saying more and more outrageous things to get the clicks and to get circled around, even if it's as vile as that. And maybe one reason he's not saying it about white people is maybe there would be more repercussion because he's picking on people with less influence in this country.
Well, he's picking on Black people, Asian people. Like I said, a lot of people who claim they're oppressed or whatever, they fight sideways. Like men attack women because they feel like, well, they're the weaker person. I'm not going to fight these people over there because I'll get my ass whooped. So let me attack these women. So same thing with Charleston White. He's like, I'm not going to attack anybody Jewish or anybody white because I'll get my ass whipped. So let me throw some shit at T.I. and throw some shit at this Asian dude. You know what I mean? So they go sideways like crabs. They don't go up, they go sideways. And
the other thing about him too, I'm sorry. this fake COVID I got. So
Pseudo COVID.
yeah, pseudo COVID. Wannabe COVID. So the thing about him too is that he contradicts the heck out of himself too. Like I said, I haven't even had to follow him. I've just checked in from time to time until I just got tired of checking in because I started seeing what was going on. I was like, okay, professional troll. But I'm just more concerned about society again, because then I'm thinking, yeah, he's a professional troll. And like No Saint said, you got to keep saying more and worse stuff. And I'm a like full proponent for freedom of speech, minus violence, inciting violence, or anything like that. But yeah, I believe you're allowed to be racist, bigot, prejudice, all of that stuff. Yeah, child, knock yourself out. But when you start doing that, we see people don't got it all, and he's got a lot of followers. Not only do he have a lot of followers, but people keep putting them on their platforms. Like, they don't see how irresponsible this is. A lot of people today, more than ever, are walking around without a full deck. And we don't know who they're looking up to.
Right.
Because chances are, if I don't have a full deck, I'm going to be attracted to somebody who doesn't have a full deck, but is getting more reach than me.
Right. Yeah.
Hence why Krishan is just so appetizing for everybody. And her and Blueface's relationship together. It's either her by herself or them together. Because he's not as problematic by himself without her. He has little stuff, but when they get together, it's volatile and everything like that. So it's like, where are we headed? Where are we headed at? Like that's my issue.
And it doesn't matter, people in the chat are saying it, other people have said it. It's just an act. It's a character he's playing. Here's the thing. If I was playing a character, right, and I said to you people in the chat, they're saying it's just an act, just a character. If I was playing a character, said, I think your mother should have a bullet in her head. That's what I think. That's what I think about your mother. I think your mother's a fat fucking bitch who needs her mouth shut, and she should swallow a bullet. Now, would you accept me if I said, that's an act, I'm a character, duh, I'm trying to get views, Like, would you accept that? Would you accept me saying that about your mother, that your mother should be brutally sexually assaulted by dudes with big dicks who hate your mother? Is it just an act? Am I just playing a character? Am I just playing a character? Is it okay? Because I keep hearing that, not only about Charleston White, but other characters.
Yeah, but think about the people who are playing characters that we know are playing characters, meaning on a scripted show, that people really think that that's them. People are not smart.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Such a fucking great point, because we fall in love with characters in movies and on TVs to the point where when we see these fucking celebrities, we call them by their character name.
I was listening to Paul Giamatti, the actor Paul Giamatti. He was in that movie about wine, right? Sideways. And he said he was at a restaurant and the guy comes over with a wine list. I've been waiting 10 years. He said, I don't know a fucking thing about wine. The guy thought he knew about wine.
No. If you was to see James Gandolfini, rest in peace.
Right.
But you're gonna say, "Hey, Tony." You're not gonna say, "Hey, James Gandolfini." You're not gonna say that. So people take characters seriously.
Yeah.
Ask Al Pacino how they treated fucking. Al Pacino said, "It blew my mind the way people had my poster up on their walls." Al Pacino said this. That's how attracted and inspired they were by Tony Montana.
Yes. Yeah.
Al Pacino's Italian, first of all, okay? Tony Montana's Cuban.
You're right.
But you all got him on a t-shirt, on a poster, on the wall, and you had aspirations to be just like Tony Montana. The world is yours, Tony. It was just a character, but it inspired behavior. It inspired attitudes. It inspired actions. I knew guys that got fucking "the world is yours" on their fucking tires way back in the fucking 90s. So you can't keep saying such and such is just a character. He said himself, he's just kidding. Because while he's doing those videos, right, he doesn't say disclaimer. Before I say what I'm about to say, I want you to know this isn't real. This is a character.
Right.
And do tell when it's ever acceptable as a character to say infants should be sexually assaulted and sodomized. You make that make sense to me.
Right.
Make it make sense to me that it's okay to say an infant should be sexually assaulted and sodomized because the person said it's just a character. Let me know when that's okay. And that's why I flip it on these people's mothers. Because if somebody said that about their mother, it wouldn't be play.
Or their children.
Or their children. It wouldn't be play. It wouldn't be a character. It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be play.
And then there's people out here sick enough, if they want, say if they're obsessing over this Charleston White character and he says something, they're like, yeah, he's right. You know, we want to uphold our leader, our fearless leader, like they do with that
Trump.
That other guy. Yeah, the Trump
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels and all that other stuff. So it's like, y'all don't see the danger. Like, y'all don't see how far this can go if someone goes to mimic what he's saying.
They're not going to see it. They're not going to see it till Charleston White is dead. Like, they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it till Charleston White is dead. They're going to be like, oh, words matter, right? Kevin Samuels, in my opinion, was an entertainer.
Yes.
Okay. He was an entertainer who was actually entertaining. I found him funny. I found him funny. I found him sharp. He had a great wit. But motherfuckers went out and got his picture tattooed on their leg. And he was just playing a character. Because that's how I saw Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels tried a lot of hustles prior to the Average at Best. Average at Best took off. It went viral. Then he became that guy. Right? To talk about women and rate them and things like that. He became that guy, right? But to me, he was playing a character, a smooth cat. And people ran out. They didn't say, it's just a character. They still fight you about Kevin Samuels to this day. Yeah. They got tattoos of his face on their leg, on their arm. So that's how powerful a character can be. So what are we talking about? These people are just characters.
Tupac was a character, and Young Jock just got him on the side. Did you see?
I saw it.
It is kind of dope how they have that. Did you see the nose ring?
I did.
There's a lot going on. He got the head. Did you see it, No Saint?
I have not.
Oh, I gotta send it to you.
No Saint doesn't even know who Young Jock is.
No, but I know who Tupac is.
Okay, you're halfway there. You're halfway there. Okay, got you.
Ryan Adams said, Ryan Adams said today is Kevin Samuels' birthday. Well, happy worm food birthday, honey.
This makes total sense. Oh my God, he's a male Pisces?
I guess. I didn't know.
Let me look this up, because if so, that makes total sense.
Look up. Someone said, LOL. Oh, Carnegro said, who got a tattoo of Kevin Samuels? Google it. Google it. A couple guys did. A couple guys got a tattoo of him.
I'm a Pisces, and I have a lot of joke about male Pisces.
This is a good question. He said, okay, so what should happen? He already canceled his New York City show, so y'all believe he's doing more harm than good. He's doing no good. He's not doing any bit of good. He's like doing zero good. It's all bad. It is all Charleston White. It's all bad. And he is going to get himself hurt.
It's his birthday.
He's going to get himself hurt. And this is what y'all not going to do on this panel and on this fucking chat. Because y'all tried it with Kevin Samuels. When they stop Charleston White's clock, okay, do not fucking come up here talking about, but he said some good things too. Do not fucking come up here defending that gremlin. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You people scare me. Y'all really scare me, because you all are there when I go out to check the mail, when I run to the grocery store. Like, some of y'all fools are, cohabitating and breathing the same air as us. And that shit's scary. The fact that you all think like this, like the fact that you can't see through a lot. Because this is the thing. The reason why I'm guilty of Loving the Crazy, right? That's my guilty pleasure. And I think a lot of us, fell into the reality TV and all of that stuff at one point or something. And I still do got like a little bit of, crazy. And I always assumed when things started to go toward where we're at now, that, and I don't know why, I still keep doing this how old am I in? At this age, 42. I still keep always giving people more credit for being smarter than they really are, right?
Oh, I stopped.
I keep doing it, and so I was like, clearly they're going, like, and I'm not thinking about him at this moment, but when things like this started happening, I was like, clearly they know that this person's sick, right? Like they clearly know that there's something wrong with this person, right? I mean, you could key, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows that this person. Oh, they don't, because I start going through the comments and I'm like, oh no, they really. There's people agreeing with, like, who are these people? There's people like this in the world.
And it's like, it goes to show how bad, it goes to show how horrible, like I didn't realize how horrible their parents are and were, because how are these many people lost like this?
Right.
It's almost like, again, they were feral children, like grew up in the streets, like they didn't have parents. Because I'm like, you didn't have a mother or a father, because you don't have to have both. I'm not about, you got to have a 2-parent home.
Yeah, no.
But you didn't have a mother or a father that you respect, that you look up to, that these people online could so easily grab you by the nuts.
Right.
I mean, easily. Like, you had no home training, no morals, no ideas of your own, nothing. And a Charleston White, you're in Charleston White's comment section talking about he's the person we needed and let him talk, and you clapping like, yeah, say that, Charleston White. After he said what he said, weirdo.
It's beyond weird. It's concerning at this point, because some of these people are procreating.
I mean, he has said things to the point where he reminds me of them guys, Suicide by Cop. Like, I watched him talk and I said, this dude is trying to get somebody to kill him.
I've seen that several times. He's done things like that several times.
Doesn't it look like he's pushing, like he's literally like saying to himself, I want to see how far they're going to let me go. I'm trying to get killed by them. And they're just not responding. And so he says worse and worse and worse and worse. And it looks to me like he's trying to commit suicide.
Yeah. It's giving me either that or mental illness or a little bit of both. Lots of trolling added in.
Steve, you're driving? Is Steve driving? He said he was supposed to get off this freeway 2 exits ago. Get off the freeway.
Today. I forgot to put my computer up because I'm not used to filming here.
I'm not mean. I'm not mean.
See, people think you're mean. You just don't take shit.
He already started, and Charleston White ain't dead yet. He already starting. He's like, he always compliments Mexicans and whites and talks about the united and brotherhood. He talks about black folks because he wants them to do better. He said an infant should be sexually assaulted and sodomized. How many times do I have to say that? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? It doesn't matter if he complimented your mama. He said an infant should be sexually assaulted and sodomized. What part of that are you not understanding? Again, if this person said that about your mother, can I tell you, yeah, but I saw him give a homeless person a sandwich? What would you say to me? Y'all gotta, it's like, come on, mi gente.
And listen, I like I said earlier, I admit I'm the person who's always looking for the duality and the da-da-da-da. But there's even times where I just have to go, listen, you on your own, Charleston. I can't help you. I can't. I don't know. I can't find just like, it's instances like this that the bad outweighs the good for me. Like I don't.
He said, and I heard him. He said he calls out the rappers because of what they promote, and then he said an infant should be sexually assaulted and sodomized. Are you? Am I talking to them?
They don't think the words all the way through. That's what they don't think the phrase all the way through.
Right. So they're not hearing what I'm saying. So he went after rappers for promoting violence, but then he said something that was the most heinous and violent thing an adult male could ever say, that it's okay to sexually assault an infant.
Right.
But it's okay because he called those rappers out for promoting violence. What is this? Where are we? Fuel my fucking rocket ship, please.
Yes, I'm waiting for these aliens that they keep talking about. Like, I'm hoping there's some really hot ones because I'm just saying.
So let me ask this, because you know I like asking the little controversial questions. Do you think that Black people get away with being racist more so than, say, a white person would?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What do you think, Dose?
I mean, I'm trying to think of examples because what you got to look at when it comes to like this guy is just like they were saying, some people have nothing to lose, like not a lot to lose. So I think in certain situations, I think in most situations you can say, yeah, Black people can get away with saying more than white people can, like racial type stuff. But at the same time, there are the exceptions that if you're in a high enough position, I mean, you can look at it and you talk about certain white people.
Okay.
You're not going to get away with it, you know? I mean, we see that a lot.
Well, no, I mean, Kanye got dragged.
Right.
He got wiped from the face of the earth.
Right.
But Kanye had a lot to lose.
That's what I'm saying. So it like you're saying, maybe it's, but yeah, in the general population, I think that Black people do get a pass for things they say. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not bitter about it, you know?
Right.
I mean, that's just,
it's just the reality.
It's just the history.
I mean, no, yeah,
this country's got a history, and you know, white people need to take that one on the chin.
That's it. And that's how, like, it, you know. Yeah, what you just said, no, saying I totally agree. It's just like, okay, if we can say our words right, without the violence, that's still not going to equate to the violence that happens. So, okay, just let us talk, child. Let us talk. Let us get it off. Let us get it off our chest. It's okay.
Yeah, I agree with that because I talk my shit about whitey all the time. But what I don't like is like when they go after other people of color. That's my issue. That's stupid as fuck, in my opinion. Like the whole Charleston White against Asians and all that shit. That to me is stupid as fuck, knowing damn well if an Asian said that about them, they'd be crying and picketing and marching and wearing t-shirts and Black Lives Matter. That's what would be happening. Now, I understand that versus white people. I really, really do. Because like you said, they got to take it on the chin. It is what it is. And white people are still in position of power, whether we like it or not. Right? It's true. But, you know, it seems like every other month, there's a new enemy of Black people. And when the Mexican lady said what she said, and check this out, the Mexican lady wasn't even talking about Black people. The Mexican lady, the politician, was talking about dark-skinned Mexicans. And they wiped her from the face of the earth. And she's Mexican, right? So how is it that now, and let me tell you something, I said something controversial a while back. I said, you should start canceling, society should start canceling Black people who say the word nigga. They should start canceling them, whether it's a rapper, whether it's an influencer, they should start canceling them. There should be a petition to start canceling people that say the word nigga. They should be canceled. That way, if you really want to see change, if you really want to shift the paradigm, everybody get canceled for that word. Now we're living in a different situation. But Charleston White was saying that the only people, it does. Charleston White was saying the only people that can say nigga is white people because they gave Black people that word. So then that would mean that you shouldn't be saying it either as a Black person because the word does belong to No Saint.
Which is so endearing, No Saint. Every time you call me that, I just get butterflies.
I want to throw something out there because I've heard.
Like he literally said that. The only people that can say nigga is white people because they gave us that. They called us that. And I'm like, then right now, in a nutshell, you fucking idiot, you're saying that no one should be saying it, and it's a bad word. It's a derogatory term. You're making no sense. Like somebody please put him out of his misery. Somebody?
He's another one that I don't go on. No Saint, you had something to say.
Yeah, you were saying something, No Saint.
What she was saying, and it reminds me that there are segments in the Black community, probably not a majority at all, that don't view Chinese as people of color. I've heard people say, no, they're white. They're
what?
Yeah.
No, growing up in the Bronx, they will always get the Chinaman was always getting beat up delivering Chinese food, like really, beat bloody, stolen money. Black people know that Asian people are people of color. They do not revere them as white folk.
I've heard in certain segments of YouTube. And not the Hebrew Israelites, because not the Hebrew Israelites. And another thing is about Mexico.
Okay. You know what? I will concede. I know what you're talking about. You mean like the prestigious Asians, like the doctors and the tech world and all that. Probably in our culture, they don't see them as people of color because they're on top. They're above them. Yeah. Those Asians are above them. So I get that.
Yeah, and another thing is with your comment about the lady politician in Mexico, there is, and you probably know this, I'm not telling you anything you probably don't already know, but in Mexico and in Latin America.
She's not in Mexico, she was here.
Oh, she was here. But I'm just saying, like, well, let's just go, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it carries over, but there are, the lighter skinned Mexicans do have it above the darker skinned
Mexicans. Around the world. That's around the world.
Right. Like
Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans.
Indians, anywhere in the world.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Colombia and Erica's brother doesn't like the indigenous, like he has a prejudice, and you can tell the difference. They're short, they're out.
That's what the Mexican lady was saying.
Yeah, there is a prejudice against
indigenous all over the world, though. That's all over the world.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah.
And we look better. That's a whole other topic. So. Short and all, bitch. Short and all.
Right. Short, but we age well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, but that's exactly what that Mexican lady was saying. She was talking about the indigenous Mexicans who were short and dark skin. And I'm like, bitch, do you have a mirror? Ma'am, Miss Ma'am, do you have a mirror? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a mirror, ma'am? I know you do. Shit. Rather be short and dark to look like you. So it's, man, race is like, this dude, this story is growing legs. He's becoming more and more popular. You're right, Lily. Like he kind of like, I think he got really noticed when he went after T.I. because you go after somebody more famous than you, you're going to get attention, especially because T.I. responded like a fool. This is what happens when you respond to people that are beneath you, right? You pull them up. Right?
That was the only comment that I would see during that time period that I was like, see, I'm with you. They was like, why are you saying anything to this man? Right. You are giving him a platform. You are handing your enemy a platform. But go on.
Yep, and it's because T.I. gotta respond. T.I. gotta respond. Cardi B does the same thing. She puts people on all the time. I'm like, yo, you respond to the craziest shit. Like,
why haven't we cussed out Cardi B yet? That's what we should have been doing. Wasting that damn time. We should have been cussing out Cardi B and all.
Lily, immediately after we hang up right now, we gotta go over there and start telling her about herself.
Right, and another thing, if you get another nose by the end of this year.
You see when I got into that little thing with Monique on the her little comment section.
I did, yes. You and Monique was going back and forth.
Shit. I was like, whatever, lady.
Funny.
I was like, you so full of shit. Okay. Monique, I got a red table talk skit I'm gonna do. I got my look. I went to I got me a red tablecloth. It's gonna be on and popping soon.
That is so funny. I need to get back to doing skits because they're fun.
They are. You stay creative too.
I gotta show you an old skit.
Tristan!
I gotta show you this old skit that popped up that I did before that me and somebody I was once friends with, so I can't post it no more because we're no longer friends, but it's so good. So I'm gonna send it to you because it's funny.
Charleston White, a funny looking motherfucker. His glass eye kills me. Yo, that glass eye when he turns to the side. That glass eye is creepy as hell.
And he looks like a bum. Not trying to be.
He reminds me. No, yeah, he reminds me of that little squirrel thing from Ice Age.
Right.
From the cartoon Ice Age. Love, Crazy Legs needs a movie about his life. Crazy Legs been doing this. He does. He has a documentary coming out soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta watch that episode. I love Drink Champs when they take us down memory lane like that because
I know.
Like, and I love old tea. Old tea is like good wine sometimes. It ages really well sometimes. It's like, right. I always suspected that, but now you just confirmed something I've always.
Wait a minute, Lily, you weren't here when I talked about the Curtis Blow situation to me. You weren't here.
No.
Lily, go listen. Our last Freaky Friday, go to the. I'm gonna tell you what mark it is. I divulged some old tea.
Wow, I'm glad I wasn't on.
No, Saint, were you here?
My Dougie Fresh tea.
Oh, damn. Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Did you, you weren't here when I divulged the Curtis Blow tea, were you?
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
I don't think you were. You weren't here last Freaky Friday.
No, I was there half the show, but not the whole show, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, Lily, you got to hear that tea. It was you got to hear it. It's funny. You got to hear it. It's a few minutes, but, where is this? Yeah, last Freaky Friday, you have to go to the 3-hour mark. 3 hour and 4. Go to the 3-hour mark because we went long last Freaky Friday. No, I'm sorry. Sexy Saturday.
Okay, 3 hours.
It was Sexy Saturday. Go to the 3-hour mark. I start talking about my situation with Curtis Blow. And it's old tea, but it's tea.
I know. Old tea ages like fine wine.
Right?
Like, I mean, because I was the teen who had all of the magazines, even if I had to steal them. I had them. Okay. And the CDs and all of that stuff. I was like really into it, you know. So, like I was like a Wendy Williams, but without the microphone, right? But you know, I had people in class; they listened to what I got to say, right?
Right.
But it's certain things that happened back then that I will read between the lines, and I'm like, I bet you da. And then now I'm finding out like, oh, that was right, or it was like even better than I thought, or you know, like so. Drink Champs, they're good for that. They use some good tea that ages like.
Oh my God! Tristan said this is his summary of my story. All we know it was about Coke and some hot sauce.
Good mixture.
Watch it, Lily. Watch it. At the 3-hour mark of our Sexy Saturday. Okay, watch it.
That's a very interesting, good mixture. I'm going to write that down as some ingredients for my next casserole.
Coke and hot sauce, baby. Check the private chat, you guys. A lot of it stating with DJ Junebug, all he knows. Yep, Coke and hot sauce. Sounds like a song. Margaritas and cocaine.
Right.
And cocaine. My honky tonk song I like. Have you guys heard that song? Margaritas and cocaine?
I haven't, but I love going to honky tonks and all of that stuff. Anything with live music. It could be what do you call it? Bluegrass. It could be anything. If it's live and they playing some instruments, baby, I'm here.
Yes, you eating your little barbecue on the side and jamming.
It's nothing like it. Music is really a universal language for real.
You start playing the spoons on the side.
Whatever you gotta play.
Blowing your jug.
Washboard.
No, I'm saying blow your jug.
Right.
The washboard. Don't forget the washboard.
All right. All right, guys. So this was short and sweet. It's a good Monday. We will be back tomorrow with more topics. We will keep it spicy for you. I don't know. I guess I won't keep my eye on it, but I'll be waiting to hear this guy's clock stop. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
I'm going to turn my head.
Who's that? Do you have any? Oh my goodness. No, Adam Hurd. He said, do you have any Smokey Robinson tea? I don't know that man.
Did you see Smokey getting it in on the stage?
Yes.
You couldn't tell Smokey. You just
Yes.
y'all don't leave Smokey alone.
We don't leave him alone. I'm just happy he's still alive because we lost so many.
Right.
And his knees kind of work.
Yeah, they're there. He was standing.
Yes. That's true because Ronald Isley, he barely stands anymore.
That's the point I'm making.
And Smokey's older than him. I think Smokey's older than him.
I think. Yeah.
I think he's older than him.
Smokey, he know his way around the Botox room. That's all I got to say.
He looks like you said leave him alone, so I'm not going to say
nothing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I did.
You said I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing except for, no, since Tristan got better things to do, you could take us out.
Oh, Tristan, you need to send me some of these quotes. No, I don't have nothing.
So you could just dismiss the class because you're the substitute teacher anyway.
Class dismissed. Yeah, that's right. Class dismissed.
We want our teacher back.
Right.
All right, guys. Good night. Love you all.
Good night.
Love ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, if you're still here for any reason, please hit that like and subscribe if you want to support the show. After we are done, don't forget you can cash at me at On the Block with Jen scrolling at the bottom. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. We will be back tomorrow. Don't forget you can suggest topics at On the Block with Jen at Gmail, or if you want to join the panel, you could do it any day of the week. Just make sure you cam up because we don't debate with the avatars. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this, or just to help me out in the algo, send me a peace sign or a happy face. I appreciate that too. All right, guys, good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.